odd one.
Just the odd one, yes.
Okay, great.
So what is it what's the category today?
So I've got some craft beers for you. There's a big craft beer festival happening next weekend in London called Craft Beer Rising, which I really love. I mean, there are loads around the country. I really recommend going to a beer festival or two because they're so much fun. And when I went to Craft Beer Rising last year, I was very happy to see there was a really long queue for the ladies, which made me really happy. And I know that's weird, but it meant there were loads of women there, which is great. And you know, you wouldn't have seen that.
You know, we always assume that kind of a beer festival is full of kind of, you know, beardy real ale types, much like myself.
Exactly. Whereas things are changing, so it's.
And is that to do with the beers?
Yes, it is. And there are loads of new breweries opening and doing really exciting, different styles of beer.
Okay, well, so what's the first one?
So this first one is called Still Upper Lip, and it's by the Horns Brewery in southwest London.
Okay.
How do you snip it first? Do you do all that? Cheers.
Cheers to the ladies of Wakefield's Visitors Centre.
Cheers, ladies. So can I ask, what makes this exciting?
Cheers, Simon. Cheers, Rebecca.
Rhubarb. What were you saying?
See you next week.
You say that they're new and exciting. Why is this more exciting than old beer?
So the aim of these newer beers is to try and use different ingredients. So they bring lots of so they bring lots of different hops in. They've got different strains of yeast that they've cultivated themselves for particular flavours. They use hops from the New World from places like New Zealand. It's really lovely, isn't it?
Very yeasty to smell, yeah?
Yeah. A little bit kind of lemoniness about it.
Yeah, a little bit of citrus going through. So these guys started making this in their garage, and then it turned into a proper going concern of a business, and now they've got their own brewery, which just goes to show what you can do if you start making it yourself in your garage.
Sort of strength-wise, what we're looking at on this?
So that's quite low. That's just over 3%. So that's a relatively light beer. That's the lightest of all of these that we're going to try today. So it's a proper session beer, as you guys would.
Because that's really lovely. Because am I right in thinking that something with a low ABV, it's harder to get lots of flavour into it?
Yeah, that can be.
Or harder.
Yeah, it's harder. Yeah. It's not sort of impossible, obviously, as it demonstrates, but yeah, it can be harder. So certain levels of alcohol do different things to the way that flavours come through, which is true of spirits as well. Like different levels in something like gin brings through different flavour notes. So yeah.
That's lovely.
Thoughts, Jenny? Do you like that?
Yeah, actually, I quite like this. So I have to be careful because I haven't drunk for 4 months.
Did you not have a drink to celebrate the
I did have to celebrate, yeah.
Well, I saw you dancing with Ed Lee on a home movie on the coverage. What was that about? That was after celebrating.
Yeah, that made it, yeah.
That was good fun.
Oh, is this the next one?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Careful.
Cheers. And cheers to Oliver in Dorset enjoying some Jurassic Ale.
Cheers, Oliver.
Fancy dress cheers is a good idea.
I love that.
So I want to know the backstory to that. Like, how did that happen?
Just use your imagination.
This smells sweet.
This is from Wales. This is from a brewery in Newport, and this is called Urban IPA. It's by Tiny Rebel Brewery.
I like that. It's quite perfumed.
Yeah, it is. It is more perfumed. Yeah, so they use a kind of a really interesting blend of hops. So they get this kind of slightly floral note, but also I think it's got orangey notes in it, and maybe a little bit of marmalade. Do you get that?
I can go for that.
I think it's really delicious. What do you reckon? Do you like it?
It's nice.
Because a lot of the craft brewers, they're quite American in style, aren't they? In what they're doing, the way in which kind of they're using the hops. They are quite floral because a lot of the American craft beers are that way.
Yeah. So the trend, and a lot of brewers in the UK would hate me for saying this, the trend for craft brewing of this style kind of originated in the US in the 1990s and then kind of came back over here, which has a certain irony to it, considering the UK was the home of brewing for such a long time. So this next one is another one from London. This is called Great Eastern India Pale Ale.
Does it affect it that we've had those two beforehand? Like, is it going to affect our judgment?
Hopefully not. No.
You're thinking too much about it, Jen.
Do I cheers? Oh no, answer that question, then we'll do our cheers.
Well, it can affect your palate, but only slightly. And so obviously you will have the flavours in your mouth from the previous one. So if you were doing a really kind of complex tasting, you'd have a sip of water between each one in order to get your palate clean.
When you're at one of these beer drinking festivals that you've just been promoting, should we be taking water with us as well?
I think that's a very good idea, yes. I advocate that, yes.
Some cheese and crackers?
Yeah.
Cheers to Ollie.
Cheers.
Cheers, Tim. Cheers, Simon. Have an amazing day.
Cheers, Ollie.
Cheers, Ollie.
So what's this
So
one?
this is much stronger. So this is
Wow,
nearly
you can
7.5%.
taste it, yeah.
So this is a big this is a big drink. I
It's a
love
big
that.
day,
I think
isn't it?
it's really lovely, isn't it? But 7.5% is
Big
obviously
drink for a small man, miss.
it's
How strong is that? Yeah, how strong is that?
so it's nearly 7.5%. Yeah.
Yeah.
That tastes like beer. When you first had beer when you were a kid, and you sort of think, "Whoa, how would anyone want to drink that? It's so strong." Not that I feel that way about it.
Though, isn't it?
It's very strong.
It's sort of thicker in a way.
Okay.
I know, not literally. But
Richer, yeah.
Yes, richer.
Yeah.
Can we have your favourites? What's your favourite?
Definitely the first.
First one, definitely.
I'm going first one as well.
I'm actually going first.
Wow.
Unanimous
Full house.
decision. Great.
Really good.
You can
But
do
they're
that
all
every
lovely.
single- Yeah, all good. Even the strong, which I'm never normally a strong beer fan. It's fantastic. Now, in just a minute, thanks, Max. In just a minute, we're chatting to Helen Skelton, but first.